to talk about making lemonade. Didn't you, Benita? Can't hear you. did what I did.
Well, you're doing that extra practicing you can do because you don't have to commute back and forth to the school. Isn't that great? I'm from Connecticut, and I started teaching at Yavapai College last fall, and I was so excited because I have spent my whole life refining the art of piano pedagogy. Everything was going fantastically. Students were making progress, and you all played beautifully at the brown bag recitals. And then, as you know, after spring break, I got that horrible news that there was going to be no in-person teaching. I never believed in online teaching. I was always like a hands-on person. I had had so much success with it. And I just hung in there because I knew you guys needed your credits and I knew the college needed me to stay. And so I ended up being very surprised, actually, because when I started doing the online lessons, I started teaching with a different perspective. I found myself explaining things in more creative and elaborate ways. I found myself using my ears more to detect flaws in hand, arm, and body movement. I got to see your home setup for practicing, and it helped me understand the outcomes of your work, and it also helped me adapt my teaching to the conditions you have in your practicing. And as I got to know the students, I began to realize that many of you have overcome great obstacles to make the music that you make. And I found that we are a resilient group. And I was actually very, very inspired to realize, what some of you have gone through and go through on a daily basis. And so that got me to think about artists of the past. And I started thinking about masterpieces that were created during adversity. And the first one that came to mind was Beethoven's Ninth Symphony was composed when Beethoven faced deafness. Chopin's Revolutionary Etude was composed when war broke out in Poland. His Raindrop Prelude was composed when he was facing death, ailing with tuberculosis in Mallorca, where he had gone to recover, and then it just rained and rained and rained. It's not supposed to rain there. It's supposed to be like Prescott. And Schumann wrote all his amazing compositions when he was lamenting a hand injury and was separated from his love. So I came to the conclusion that adversity not only leads to great art, but is necessary for great art. And I cannot wait to see what our students produce during this time, because I think we're going to see art like we've never seen before come out of our college. I came across this poem on the internet, and it is a creation that bloomed during COVID. And it is a poem written by the poetess Laura Tate from Cortland, New York, and it is called The Curve. A minute, an hour, rhythmic drum beats of the kitchen clock, a day, a week, numbers on our wall calendar from Shane's handyman service, with a photo of a garden in spring, a stone bench hugged by pink azaleas. Some days we walk through town, keep our distance from people, read the window signs at the bakery, the empty coffee shop on the corner, closed until further notice. Even the college at the top of the hill, its brick buildings, dormitories, shut down. Who would have thought it would come to this? And with such speed and cruelty. We are told to stay home to flatten the curve, to stop the terrible spread. We stay inside The clock counts down the minutes. And I think of the curve as a giant ocean wave. That nightmare when I am running, holding your hand, both of us running because the wave is coming. We don't know when exactly, but it's coming for us. And we know we are not ready, but it's coming. And I'm afraid to wake up in the morning, to go to sleep at night, to eat, to breathe, to touch. We live in a house called fear. But one day, you call me to the window, and we watch a small girl with purple boots and a green jacket, ponytails and a headband with pom-pom antennae. She sits and draws on our front sidewalk with colored chalk, stays long enough to get it just how she wants it. Then, finished with her offering, she gathers up her chalk, walks to the next house where she will draw one more time with 6 colors on cold concrete. Then stops at the next house and the next and the next, blessing every single home. I don't know what time that was, nor the hour, nor the day on the calendar. I only know that this was the day we learned a curve can also be a rainbow. So chin up, everybody, and keep making our art. Thank you.
Thanks, Benita.